excited about this one.
The one and only Aslin Brewery. We're here with Leszkowicz. Cheers. Talking about, Aslin's come up and, next steps, where you guys
The
are headed.
Notorious. You guys bonded over brewing beer.
Yep.
You and Andrew.
Yep.
And
yeah, so Andrew and I are brother-in-laws. There's 3 sisters. He's married to the youngest. I'm married to the middle child. I'm also a middle child. Go middle children. We're the coolest.
The problem children.
Yeah.
No.
They say that. It's youngest are the best.
Sorry, because you got mom's love. It's great. And he and I were living in different places at the time and started homebrewing. We met one Thanksgiving when our families got together and he was being introduced to the family as like the new boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then we found out we were New England sports fans, both home brewers.
I'm sorry, I have to leave.
Yeah, exactly. And we just kind of kicked it off. So when I ended up moving to Virginia a few years later, we started homebrewing. And at that time, we were both like young adults and disillusioned by like what it is to be an adult. We decided, screw it, we're gonna risk this whole thing and open a brewery.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys taking off.
And you like went all in. Like
Yeah,
you took
absolutely.
everything you had. I mean, like so many small business owners do, and said it's all or nothing. Let's give it a go.
100%. At the time, I had like 0 assets to my name. I had a 401k. I cashed in my entire 401k, wrote a check to the bank, and was like, "I'm gonna open a brewery." And they smiled and said, "Thanks, idiot. Think you're gonna take your money? Good luck."
You're crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you guys are leaving Herndon?
Yeah, well, we are in a way leaving Herndon.
Okay.
We own some property downtown. That's correct. Where we're standing now, the OG Aslin will eventually shut down and will kind of relocate itself to the Alexandria project we're calling Aslin HQ. But we do own property in downtown Herndon that's fairly large. We're going to build out a bar and have a small production facility there where we can focus on like small batch sours and barrel aged projects and things like that.
Okay.
So not all is lost.
Not all is
Aslin's still gonna stay
And
in
the
there.
property in Alexandria will bring back the tasting room to where you make
Exactly.
it, which will be awesome.
Exactly. Both of those elements are going to have somewhat of a tasting room design. So the Herndon Sour Project thing will have a small
Herndon
tasting
Sour.
room. Yeah, exactly. We'll have a small tasting room and kind of act as our western branch to reach out to the western side of Fairfax and the eastern side of Loudoun. And then Alexandria will be like our centralized hub where we do all the manufacturing of the majority of our beers and act as like the largest tasting room that our business offers.
Yeah. It'd be a nice dense area there. You'll probably have tons of traffic.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
And I know the Herndon people are glad to still have the presence here, or the people out this way.
Yeah.
I saw your fans on Twitter saying, "Don't leave."
Yeah, exactly. Well, as you guys know, as residents of Herndon, like that's been our basis. We wanted to be the local brewery, the local watering hole, and the community's been super supportive of us. We just have issues with the municipality and the management, and it's more or less now just what happens in every small town with politics. It's a waiting game and kind of that long, heavy
It's an
learning curve.
exercise, and yeah.
Absolutely,
A
it's
lot of
totally a
things.
patience game.
So talk about your progeny program. I thought this was really cool.
Yeah, so Aslin Beer Company's #1 priority is growing the wealth of the employees as well as employee retention. And the one way that we do that is by generating the progeny program, which essentially means anyone here who's eligible to be a brewer can write a budget, make a recipe, and show us an executable on it. And if they're able to perform that, whatever the profit margin is theirs. They get it 100% in their pocket, essentially as a cash bonus. And it does 2 things for the brewers. One, it allows them to incentivize themselves. They can do it all on their own time and make whatever money they want as long as they're being fair about who's monopolizing the tank at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, it creates a brand behind that brewer. So people present the product as, Progeny Scott or Progeny Bo, and then they start affiliating those people with a product line.
Yeah.
And
Well,
later,
and
if they ever open up their own brewery, they already got a launching pad.
Wow. And it also just keeps the creativity that Aslin has as a trademark, because you guys are so creative with your beers?
Taking. I was gonna say, like, how do you come up with some of these flavors? I mentioned like the pecan pie one that I had, a stout that was delicious. This is a orange juice, lactose, infused beer. I mean, where do you guys get this from?
A lot of it legitimately comes from things we enjoy eating or drinking, like popsicles from summertime, desserts. A lot of our stouts are based in desserts.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to things like that, the beer specifically Grove Stand that you're drinking is based on a creamsicle. We liked creamsicles as kids.
And you
like,
have some based on like cereal milk.
yeah. Well, Bo, one of the other brewers, was like, and man-eating toaster.
Yes.
We took a couple ideas that should have probably been traditionally stout ideas, and folded them in and said, like, let's change this up. Let's change the consumer's perception of what this product should be, and we gave it to them in an IPA package, something that we're known for doing IPAs, and pretty decent at doing these adjunct stouts that people are happy about. Yeah.
Well, and you guys took the risk early on. I heard a podcast you guys did on beer meat.
Yep.
And you were saying that, like, so many breweries go, okay, we're going to make one of each for what the general consumers out there want. And then you, like, scratched that and said, you know what? We just want to make what we like.
Yep.
And it'll sink or swim.
Yeah.
And so that's what you've done, and it clearly knew how to swim.
Yeah, we're very lucky that the consumers are super interested in like the creative element that we take to the product, because they could easily say, we don't want to drink these beers with orange juice in them, we just want to drink crisp, traditional German-style beers, and we would be in a difficult situation because we'd probably continue to do the weird stuff we do, you know?
Right. And what did Andrew say? I forget what it is, but he goes, we decided just to do what we want. We're like insanely selfish in what we decide to brew.
Sounds about right.
Now, have either of you ever lived in New England? Because I know you kind of brought the New England IPA to this region.
So I grew up in Connecticut. Waterbury is like the closest city to my small town, and I was there for like 14 years. Drew lived there in the end of junior high and beginning of high school before coming back to Virginia. So
you have a reason to root for New England.
Yeah,
teams.
his family, like his mom and dad are all from the Boston area. All his family is still there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not just bandwagoners.
All right. That makes me feel a little bit better. How do you get all the artwork for the cans?
So we have an artist. His name is Mike Van Hall. He's local. He does
Shout out,
artwork.
Mike.
He does the work for Stillwater Artisanal as well.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's awesome.
Does he do the hats?
No, this is kind of our own little branding thing on the side that he wants to take over because he doesn't necessarily like our vision on it, and it doesn't align with all the cool stuff he does. So we're slowly ramping down what we have our hands
You
on.
can look at a can and go, "That's an Aslin."
Yeah.
You know.
And
Yeah.
just looking at the cans
Can
on the
you
floor
look on the
here,
floor?
it's just so dynamic. You've got what the two of you are holding in the same vein, and then
Yeah.
something like the Rambler is like a retro throwback to like a
Yeah.
70s, like 70s national park monument or something, right?
You're right. Yeah, he's fantastic. Nice talent there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right.
Kai, are these us?
Yep, that's for you guys.
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
The
fantastic.
best.
Wow. Can we come and film you again next week? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we'll come.